First, there was slow food, the culinary movement to preserve traditional foods and cooking methods. It's the antithesis of fast food culture. Now there's slow travel, a movement that puts the focus back on vacations being restorative, experiential, and relaxing. If you feel like vacations have become a race to see and do it all, get the best pictures, and tick those must-see boxes, then a slow travel vacation is just the kind of trip you've been looking for. Today, I'm back with travel writer and slow travel advocate Brittany Annis. She's here to share her top 5 destinations for taking your time while taking it all in. So if you're ready to put down the camera, tuck that itinerary in a drawer, and leave a little more space for the unknown, then here are the best places to dive a little deeper. So, this is top 5 destinations for slow travel. Before we dive into specifics, what qualities do you think make a destination great for slow travel?
I think a mid-sized city or a little bit of a lesser known destination that's not getting a ton of tourists make a fantastic city for slow travel. Also, if there is a good transportation system that can get you around to different neighborhoods easily, that really helps. It's a city that has a lot of amenities, great restaurants, things to do, but also maybe has some natural attractions that you can just really relax at.
What is the best destination for family-oriented slow travel experience? And what makes it family-friendly?
I love some of our mountain towns in Colorado, but this could really go for a lot of the mountain towns now, especially in the summer because they get really busy during the ski season. But in the summer, they're starting to make their mountains really fun with alpine coasters and different like wildflower hikes that you can do. So I would say a place like Vail or Park City, where they've got the amenities that you can have fun year round, but also go into the towns and have some good meals and just kind of enjoy that laid back mountain lifestyle.
What's a destination that you would recommend for slow solo travel?
I think Hawaii could be a great solo travel destination. Again, especially if you love the outdoors. So you can bring your snorkeling set, find little secluded coves and beaches to go snorkeling. There's so many places like little food truck stands, and then just great places, again, to go hiking, maybe take a surf lesson, or if you wanted to do something big, go on a helicopter tour. But again, I think that you can have a really great time in Hawaii as a solo traveler. It's a trip, one of my first solo travel trips. So that might be why it's close to my heart.
And say you're out there solo traveling, but you do want to add a social element. Is there a specific kind of tour or cultural experience you would book?
Sometimes hostels are great for solo travelers because they'll have some programming in the afternoon where they go do a hike or a beach cleanup or a group surf or whatnot. But yeah, I think even just checking in with your hotel front desk to see what kind of like sunset or boat tours there are, or guided hikes or cultural tours, I think is the way to go there.
Is there a destination that embraces slow travel in a way that it's kind of already woven into the culture? I can think of a few, but I'm curious which one you would suggest.
Yeah. So immediately my mind's going to Menorca, that Spanish island that's close to Ibiza in Mallorca. We had a 4-hour dinner, I think, at this farmhouse where each course was sourced from the farm and served and plated beautifully. And there was no rush in getting these dishes out. And I think that any destination that kind of values that like cafe or restaurant culture where you can really have this meal that kind of goes late into the night and enjoy conversation and whatnot is kind of top of mind for me. What are some destinations that you were thinking about?
Well, I was thinking Spain because you have this beautiful siesta built into the day. So you kind of already are forced into a bit of relaxation if that's not your usual vibe, because everybody else is taking their cultural siesta. And that's just so nice to kind of have that in the day already. But then I was thinking Jordan and Turkey and places where they're dropping that tea on you after your meal. And I was always so go, go, go. Like I'm eating the food and then I'm doing the next thing and they're like, no, slow down. Have the tea. Tell us about you. And I'm like, what? It slowed me down in a way that nothing else really did and kind of opened my eyes to this beauty of slower travel and not just having a meal be the thing you do to sustain yourself, but actually to have that be a part of connecting with the people who are serving you and cooking for you. What is a slow travel destination for food and wine experiences?
I think the central coast of California, like it's funny because their whole nickname and marketing is slow travel. So San Luis Obispo. And I have had some really enjoyable trips just kind of along those coastal cities. And they have so many great wineries. They shake a lot of pretension there, right? So you still may have to get a reservation for a tasting or whatnot. But they've got this kind of, I want to say it's kind of like a surf meets cowboy culture along the coast there. It's just this really laid back wine and food region. And I've had some amazing meals there. I've gone and out with an oyster farmer on a kayak in Morro Bay and plucked out oysters. And that's literally one of the slowest ways you can eat is on a kayak in the middle of the bay. And also just had some really phenomenal wine in that region. I was also thinking about Healdsburg in Northern California. It's just this like really cute town that has a fantastic food and wine scene. Their wine culture is even spilling over into some cocktail bars now, and they've got some, I think they have at least a few Michelin stars, and it's a town that's small in population. And the last time I was there, I asked someone who was a local, I said, man, this town is so cute. It's almost like a little Hallmark town with the town square. They have a concert once a week. I said, has there been like a Hallmark movie filmed here? Because it just looks like it. And she said, no, this is where Scream was filmed, that horror movie. And I was like, oh, the town square there. But it is very cute. And again, just like that whole square is very walkable. And you could really have like a few different nights on that square, trying different cuisine and maybe sitting in on a concert there.
There's nothing like a good small town, truly, because you just feel the freedom to wander and to go slower, to see where the day takes you versus, I don't know. I keep thinking of New York City. I don't know how you could slow travel in New York City because there's so many things to do and fit in. I literally had to move there for 5 years to be able to experience New York slowly. So what is a place that surprised and impressed you that a lot of people don't even think about?
One of my favorite places is Santa Fe. I'm in Denver and we can get down there on a 6-hour drive. It's one of those places that almost feels like you're in the United States still, but it almost feels like you need a passport. They have so many different cultures that have shaped that city. And then they have beautiful art galleries, really interesting food scene. It's not Mexican food, it's a new Mexican food. So they're using a lot of blue corn. They've got a margarita trail, which is really fun. And they've just got, these adobe buildings that I haven't seen anywhere else in the United States. They've got a lot of artists down there. They've got this Japanese spa called 10,000 Waves that, again, so it feels like you've been transported to one place and then you go to the spa and it feels like all of a sudden you're in Japan. They've got the onsens that you can soak in. They've got an on-site restaurant that has this really deep list of sake. It's a city that I go to frequently and every single time. And then I should actually back up and mention they also have a Mia wolf there, which is like traveling through another dimension. So there's surprises in store around every quarter in Santa Fe. But I've been down there several times and I always find something new to be surprised by. And that's another city that is fantastic for slow travel because you're not going to find much that's open after 9. You're going to get some good sleep, but there's plenty to do during the day. And it's a very walkable town. And you could even there's like a train that you could get up to Albuquerque if you wanted to stretch out into New Mexico a little bit more, but really easy city to get around. And their airports, they got a tiny little airport that you can fly into. And I think it's a perfect destination for slow travel.
Brittany Annis, thank you for joining us, and thank you, our listeners, for being with us. If you're planning a trip, be sure to connect with a AAA travel advisor. Check out AAA.com/travel or visit your local branch. This podcast is a production of Auto Club Enterprises. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and leave us a review. I'm Angie Orth. Thank you for traveling with AAA.